Progress Report.
It's your girl, Lala Shepherd. Hey, boss, Brit the most lit. What's up? It's your girl, DJ Excel. And this is the Progress Report.
Wednesday at 9. Tune in every time. We don't do no cap. Report only facts.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Trinidad James, and I just got my progress report on the progress report, and I got all A's. So, A-Town, baby.
The Progress Report.
All right, what's going on? It's your girl, Lala Shepherd.
Boss, Brit the most lit.
Okay, this is the Progress Report podcast. Man, we got a very special guest. That man, Trinidad James, is in the building.
The motherfucking GOAT.
Yes, sir.
Bells.
Hey,
Let's
man, as long as we've been doing this, we never had you on a show, which is so weird because it's like I feel like you should have been here. So it's just, salute to your team. We appreciate y'all for making this happen,
Shout out to
man.
my team.
Absolutely. So, what we like to do before we get into the Q&A of things, we like to do a little icebreaker, a little ting, just to
have a little fun.
Yeah, just have a little fun real quick. All right, so what we're going to do is called a this or that type game, okay?
All right.
So you just pretty much just let us know which one you going with.
Okay.
All right, let's get it. So we're going to start with FUBU or Fat Foreign?
FUBU.
Silver or gold?
Gold.
Braids or a silk press?
Silk press.
Reggae or Afrobeats?
Reggae.
JR Crickets or American Deli?
American Deli.
Ooh.
Oh. Onyx or Magic City?
Magic City.
Okay.
I feel like I knew you was going to say all of those things.
Word.
Yeah.
Period. Well, okay, again. Well, let's make a toast to the 10-year anniversary coming up, to the Progress Report, all that good shit. We in here. All right. Hell yeah. So let's take it to the top. He did that.
Neho, yeah, that's the strongest one.
It's all right.
Okay.
I mean, I shot a deli on, man. It's black on.
Okay, shout out to Deli.
I was going to say we got 2 black-owned joints.
Well, yeah, all black-owned joints.
All black-owned shit.
That's facts.
And we know that you big on supporting black-owned brands and shit. For sure.
Best.
I respect that. So let's take it from the top. So let us know, how were you as a kid?
In what aspect? Just like what?
Just every aspect. Like, what was your energy? Like, was you, when you was like a toddler, like what type of aura did you have?
I had a head injury when I was a child, so I don't remember my childhood.
Got
I only
you.
remember at like age 9 onwards, which that starts me at like 2nd grade.
Right.
So anything before 2nd grade, I couldn't really tell you because I don't know.
Damn.
But starting in 2nd grade, I mean, one of the, I remember, like, I'll tell you, the key thing that I remember is like the house that I grew up on when I was a child. And this is like before I came to America, because I wasn't born in America. It was behind somebody else's house, and we had a really big mango tree that I used to climb. And I remember there used to be these 2 big Rottweilers that were the neighbor's dog, and you used to always have to run past the dog to get to my house. So it was kind of ghetto, but at the same time it was kind of fun. It's kind of like I've been living an edgy life because I used to mess with the dogs and then make them chase me. And they were big. They were bigger than me because I was a child.
Right.
So that kind of just ties into like what type of child I was, to answer your question. That's why I'm telling you that.
Gotcha.
And then coming here to America, it wasn't no Eddie Murphy type story, but it was still good because I lived a lot of places. I've lived in Canada, I've lived in New York, I've lived in Florida, I've lived in Atlanta, I've lived in South Carolina, as a child. But when I came to America, I came to Jacksonville, Florida first. And in Jacksonville, the only thing I remember was that's probably the first and last time my mom ever gave me a whipping. I was just young and restless. I used to like to run everywhere. That's how I hurt my head. Running. I used to like to ride my bike through people's houses.
Damn.
Through people's houses?
So
Like in
over
the
on
backyard or
Auburn
something?
Avenue, they got like the shotgun old school houses like Martin Luther
Right.
King, where you could see straight through somebody's
Little
house
front
if you're in
yard
the
and
front
shit,
or whatever. So in the Caribbean, we grew up, we had the same type of houses, and so I was just used to be a madman on my bike, just
Play too
That's
much.
crazy.
going through people's houses. It wasn't random people though.
Okay.
No,
Yes.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not
What the hell,
a
Trinidad?
degenerate.
Okay, I
Random
got
shit,
you.
yeah.
I'm not
Word.
like Neanderthal. I'm just a child.
Got you.
So once again, but still edgy.
Yeah.
Again, once again, answering your question.
Free spirited.
Yeah, free spirit. I mean,
Okay.
just doing what I want to do.
Got you.
Coming
Just
to
being a
America.
kid.
Yeah, just normal kid stuff.
Yeah.
I think a pretty good kid because even though my mom gave me that whipping in Florida, the reason why she never did it again because I just wasn't that bad where she felt like she had to really do that again.
What'd you get the whipping for?
Right.
Just the things that she used to consistently whip me for, which is like just not listening.
Multiple there.
You know what I'm saying? But after you realize it's like, oh, he's just not going to listen.
Yeah.
Then you have to understand how to adjust to what type of listening your child does.
Right.
True.
You know, whooping a child for something they won't change starts to turn like abuse.
That's true.
Nah, facts.
You
That's
need to take
facts.
that
That's
because I used to
facts.
get a whipping for
Get
everything.
your parenting skills if you care about the future of it, because you don't want to associate your child's mindset with like if somebody say no, whoop their ass.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Or
got
somebody,
you.
that's how children take things. So I appreciate my mother having grace with me. And then my father, he only put his hands on me like one time. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you had a good child.
Right, no
Yeah.
chest. Usually with dads,
Usually the dad be ready to
punch in the chest type shit.
Facts.
Yeah, it's just I was one of those type of people where it's like, I'm offended if you put your hands on me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm aware.
I got you.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When my pops put his hands on me, I said something crazy to my mama in the back
So
seat.
it made
Well, you
sense.
deserve
Yeah,
it.
you know what I'm
Can't
saying?
talk
It
back to
wasn't like I
moms.
didn't do anything
Right.
crazy.
It was rightfully
You know what I'm saying?
deserved.
So once again, I'm only telling you these things because it ties back to your question.
I got
Or whatever of like being edgy, being reasonable, being able to like
Free-spirited.
understand like, oh, okay, there is a consequences for your actions. I've always kind of
Facts.
moved that way as I grew up.
Facts.
Facts.
And once you came to the States, was it difficult or easy to transition living in America?
The first year was hard because, well, no. I tell that a lot. I was too young to understand what it was to struggle yet. We weren't rich or anything or well off, but my pops was just a hard worker. So you know, and he's a hard worker and he had a great poker face. So you wouldn't know if like, damn, are we hurting? Are we broke? Or are we up? You know what I'm saying? Like we had to stay with my aunt before and things like that. You know, so that shows us that like, well, we wasn't just killing it. We had to go stay with somebody, right? You know, there's family, but that's somebody else's house and not ours.
Right.
So, you know, it kind of just goes to show we had to kind of move around a bit. So like we went from Florida to New York, stayed with my aunts and uncles in New York, and then we came to Atlanta. And Atlanta is kind of where I really like, was like, okay, I'm here in America now because now I got to go to school. All these other places I didn't go to school. I was just moving around. My mom was teaching me. And also Trinidad education is way ahead of America's, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way.
Yeah.
I'm just telling you the truth. Like when my first primary, all the education that I learned in Trinidad right before I left, it was first primary. That's what we call it. Our iteration of first grade, we call it first primary. But the knowledge, the actual things that I learned in that school year of being in Trinidad, it literally was first, second, and third grade of America's curriculum.
Nah, facts. I hear that a
in
lot.
our one primary, you know what I'm saying? So when I got there, I could have been in third grade when I got to Atlanta, but my mom put me back in second, just so that I wouldn't. She didn't want me to, I don't know, be necessarily younger or older. She didn't want me to be awkward. She wanted me to come up with kids that were kind of more my age.
Which makes sense.
Which was cool from a standpoint, but that's the year, going back to your question of like, how was the transition, right? That's your question. The transition, it really didn't count till I got to Atlanta and went to second grade. It was a school over here, around here, like on the south side, zone 3. It was called Minnie S. Howell. I don't know if it's still there. But that school taught me a lot because that school was that first year, I got picked on the whole year, like the whole year. And because I had an accent, you know, and back
Kids
when
are so mean.
They
yeah,
are
nobody
mean as fuck.
understands what
Making
it
fun of
is
you and
to
shit.
be from the Caribbean.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you African booty scratching, nigga.
type shit.
Yeah,
know,
I could see that.
It's not funny, but
So yeah, I mean, what's it called? It's definitely
Right.
hilarious now.
Right.
But at the time, it was like, damn, I am the losing end of this joke
Right.
every day, like bitch, every day. You know what I'm saying? So you know, the type of person I am, taking it back to what I told you about my pops and my mom. Like after they put their hands on me like that last time, well, my pops one time and that was one and done, and then my mom that time and then never again. It was because I pay attention. I took those losses every day. But I didn't take any ever after the next school year.
Period.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody that ever picked on me or whatever that first year, I made them cry every day.
You had a list. You
Every
had a
day,
whole list
every
like,
day.
yeah,
I
I'm
went
fucking
and
this nigga
attacked
up.
everybody every
Be
single
nice to
day.
kids.
You know what I'm saying? Turned into the demon that they made me. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how it was awesome because it allowed me to understand American culture fast. Like America, like when I started going to school was like, you better catch on or we gonna tear your ass up. So I was like, all right, cool. So third grade or whatever, I was caught up. You know what I'm saying? And from then on out or whatever, I just never stopped being caught up or whatever. I learned to not have to like make people feel bad in order to feel good
about yourself.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like, I mean, as a kid, I wouldn't understand. It's like, we're not getting taught culture and other black culture, and it's just like America for America and fuck every other black person that's not American. I wouldn't know that. I'm a child, and I'm an immigrant child at that. You know what I'm saying? But as I, got older and older, middle school to high school, and it was a big transition for me going from all black schools here in Atlanta to all white schools in South Carolina.
I saw you say that on Twitter.
You know what I'm saying? So like going to like white and black schools.
Totally different.
All 4 years of my high school, I went to a different school every year in high school. You know what I'm saying? Just because of issues that I had, I just didn't want to stop listening to people. I was just like, if I get into too much trouble, it's just like I'm gone or whatever. So I'll go leave and go to another state. Then I get into too much trouble there, get into it with my pops, I'm gone. Or then I'll come back here and get into too much trouble, get into it with my mom, I'm gone. Damn. Or whatever. So I kind of did that back and forth, lost my eligibility to play basketball and play all sports really in school. So that kind of like, that kind of put me in a weird place because that's all I really had. I had being cool and being really good at almost all the sports. Except baseball. You know what I'm saying? So it was like
I'm shitty at baseball too.
When I lost that,
I couldn't get that baseball down pat. I just
losing that kind of like it taught me another lesson. At first it was kind of like, damn, like I don't know if I'm gonna make it here in America because the older you get is the less for me as an immigrant mindset, the older you get is the less you can depend on your parents. Is the more that you have to start defending your parents, taking care of them. You know what I'm saying? Because like we were still immigrants. I was just goddamn getting through the system and shit. Shout out to my pops for that. And that kind of like taught me all the great lessons. That's why Atlanta, I'm always going to be indebted to it because it showed me how to be a man. It showed me how to talk to people. Going to South Carolina showed me how to deal with all people. It showed me how to understand white people from the top. Like, okay, this is what white people own because my friends were white, their parents was white as hell, and I would go hang out with them. You know what I'm saying? I was cool. Like I was that black person. It wasn't many of us that went to the school, so it was like once the white people felt like, oh, this is gonna be our guy, a token guy, or whatever, you become that guy.
It's our black friend right here.
Yeah,
man.
this is what I'm saying.
Cool as fuck.
He cool as fuck. Mom, he can come over whenever he wants. He's good at basketball. He plays on the team with me.
It's not funny, but I know what you mean.
It's just that's the reality of America,
Question. So at what point did you start to understand racism or experience racism? Because I'm only asking just hearing your background, because I went to a mixed high school. Okay. So I appreciated going to a mixed high school. Yeah, and college was the same. I went to a mixed college, but when did you realize or understand racism, and did you experience, and you know what I mean?
So America taught me racism. In Trinidad, we're not really taught racism. Not to say that segregation or classism doesn't exist. It's everywhere. Facts. It's literally science of America, of the world. I'm sorry. So it's just not taught. I think when you take racism and you make it a curriculum, or you take racism and you make it a point to defend a point, you use racism as your case or whatever. Is like, well, now you have planted that as like, oh wow, this is that serious that you put it with this crime or this thing or this. The reason why you're homeless or you just lost your crib is because these racist ass folks keep raising the rent on me. Or whatever. Those things that people don't say in Trinidad, but people say that consistently here in America. Or whatever, say especially in the South, because that's where racism, segregation kind of like was rooted to a certain extent. Right? So with that being said, I have never had a racist act done to me.
Well, that's great.
I'm not. I wasn't looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't But to answer your question of like when it became like I'm aware of it.
Right.
It would be in high school. You know what I'm saying? For other people, I feel like my other black friends would get the shitty end of the stick. But I think they would get the shitty end of the stick is because they wouldn't stand any ground on like who they were. I think that once white people realize that you're becoming white too and you're black, it was like, well, bro, I got you.
Right.
You
super ally.
You're like, what? Like, please give him a white picket flag. Give him a flag. Like,
right.
Carry force. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. So I just wasn't that person. Like, even though I'd be cool, respectful, all that, I would ever, it's like, bro, first of all, I'm not even from here. So I don't even think like these niggas or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, at all. So it's a whole different ball game for me. And I feel that the white friends, you know, shout out to like my boy Richard. I used to know this tall white boy named Richard.
Big Richard. What's up? Where you at, man?
You know what I'm saying? Like, Rich was trying to figure it out and whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? This mom and them, when it was white as hell. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, Rich had his own version of soul or whatever, but at the same time, he still really appreciated being a white boy. And I think like that's what I really appreciate. It's like, bro, if you are proud to be white, then be proud to be that. Because I'm proud to be me too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Type of situation, like walk in that or whatever. I never would call it segregation or like take it as a microaggression because a white person is being white. I expect a white to be white because that's what white people do.
Why do they call people named Richard Dick? Why is that their nickname?
I forgot.
The weirdest shit.
I actually
like William,
really? Okay,
William and Bill,
like
that is so
Dick.
random.
Like, what the fuck?
I want to ask you, since we're talking about racism, so how do you feel about the Kanye West situation?
White lives matter? Or just in general?
Well, we can talk about that part
about
too.
The Jewish thing.
Yeah, how he's been, you know, a lot of companies, just recent Adidas, have cut ties with him. He's even been cut off from banks because of the anti-Semitic comments he made. But everyone's more so only speaking about what he said in that manner, but not really about the anti-black comments. So how do you feel about that situation?
Well, I mean, we're working on ourselves. When you see things like that, I mean, it's obvious that it's a divide in the level of racism. Like, you could say this to this particular demographic, and it could be a racist remark, and well, this would be the maximum consequence or whatever. But if you say this to this particular race, well, then this is the maximum consequence. I think when you realize what your maximum consequence is for your actions or whatever, then you got to move accordingly. When I look at a person like Kanye West, who I don't know, never met.
Same.
So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I never met
anything I'm saying, you should take with a grain of salt or whatever. You know, it's like, am I telling the truth?
Right.
Yeah. You know, I feel that he is aware of what is happening. Everything that he lost, he's not to say he had it already written down, like, oh, I know I would lose this. Yeah. It's just like, once he decided what were the big things that he would lose, then all the other small shit is like, bro, you don't matter.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And that type of business and that type of money, or whatever, when like that person all the way in the back is like saying something crazy, nobody sees you. We will never care about you. And you will always be that person in the back. So with a person like Kanye, because has the giraffe's perspective compared to the lion's perspective, like everybody wants to be a lion, but a lion can't see what a giraffe sees. It's just it's a different type of power game and power struggle that he's dealing with too. That for us, lions, black lions, black panthers, we can't see it because we're not giraffes. We haven't leveled up to that level yet to see the things. Is he right on everything he's saying? I don't know.
Right.
Because I don't know.
Right.
I am not in the situation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We always wish that when you look back at certain situations in our own personal lives, damn, I wish I could have said it better.
Definitely.
I wish I could have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of course.
When I heard this one white guy or Jewish guy say to Kanye, was like, hey, you have a problem with particular Jewish people. You don't have a problem with Jews.
Right.
Or whatever. You could have been more specific. I wasn't mad when he said that because, if you really actually have a problem with 5 people, don't make it on 5 million.
Right.
Because you have the power to make it on 50 million. You know what I'm saying? You got to always remember the what is it called? The intensity, but actually more importantly, the impact of your power. And I think that he's very aware because he's a very intelligent person. But even the most intelligent, the most rich, I still see them as human, and they still are subject to make mistake. But even outside of mistake, do something intentionally, like actually like, fuck you. I don't give a fuck how you feel.
Right.
And I'm going to dig myself out of my own grave. Fuck all y'all who don't want to dig a shovel with me. Some men are just like that. Some women are just like that. And is it not kind of crazy? From our perspective, or for somebody who never bet on themselves, yeah, it's crazy. But if you've been down $50 million and ended up a billionaire in like a 5-year span of shit, then you know what it is to actually really bet on yourself. Everybody else is a nigga who ain't never went that hard for themselves.
Nah, for
so
sure.
you damn sure can't go hard for me.
It's
And that's
facts.
okay.
I respect that. Yeah, facts.
And so Trinidad, I definitely want to get into music too. I moved down to Atlanta 2013 in the summer.
From where?
From Cincinnati, Ohio.
Ooh, that's a gangster place.
Man,
Hell
it
yeah,
is,
that's
it
where
is.
I'm from
We're
too.
from
We
the
both
same
from
city
Cincinnati,
too.
yeah.
So okay, listen. So I just remember when your song, the I'll Go Everything, fucking took over. Like it was, you couldn't go nowhere and not hear it. And just during that time, like I said, that's when I first got into it. That's when music was fun.
Okay.
So I want you to just kind of reflect back to the 2012, Trinidad James, and just before the song had took off. What was you doing? What was you going through at the time? And like, talk about just getting ready to release that song.
If I could give you a breakdown of the timeline, it's 10 years ago, so excuse me if I leave out the
good.
main points or the main people. But what I do remember is that 2011, my buddies, they always been doing music. So like my close clique of unit friends that I built from like way back when I was like a heavy Jehovah's Witness as a child, those people are people who I stay cool with because that's how I came up. So when like we all stopped like really being Jehovah's Witness or like going to the Kingdom Hall, which is like a Jehovah's Witnesses version of the church. Kingdom Hall is what you call it. That was something that kind of like kept us together because it was like, for a lack of better words, we're rebels together. So you know how dudes just make dumbass gangs. Anywho, we did that, and when we did that, they were very musically inclined, and they inspired me to be musically inclined. But once again, it's always a different dynamic for me and my friends because I am an immigrant. They're not. If they get locked up for some bullshit, their mama could come get them out. It's all good. If I get locked up for some bullshit, I could get deported.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always been a different dynamic for us. So it's always kind of put me where it's like, oh, we the X-Men, but I'm actually Wolverine.
Right.
Well, I'm going to leave y'all niggas. I'm going to go do my own thing. And it ain't nothing personal. It's just I like to boom by myself because I got to, because I can't do the same things that y'all do. It's almost kind of like a privilege that y'all have. It's not a black privilege. It's an American privilege. Actually being born from here privilege that I don't have. So anyways, I bring all that up to say that those guys coming up with them, they were doing music, right? Doing music. I'm hustling. I have a lot of hustles. Like I'm in the streets. I'm running the boutique. I'm a stylist. I'm selling sneakers. I'm selling this. I'm selling that. Like I'm like the plug or whatever for certain things. And they were doing this music thing, and to me they were hustling backwards, and I hate hustling backwards. So I decided to help them out and become like I didn't know what the term was at the time because this is before I knew anything about the business. What I was actually becoming was like their manager, like their project manager, and somebody to speak on them. I had kind of an in because I'm working in one of these popping boutiques right over here on top of the underground called Ginza Boutique. It's not there anymore, but it was a legendary place. If you know, you know. We really put the city onto some drip. Anywho's, because I had relations with the brands, because I'm ordering the brands for the store, certain brands that were really cool, I'm going to use one brand for a name because I remember it's called Joy Rich. Joy Rich is the name of the brand. We started carrying their brand in the store right here on top of Ginza. When, in my mind, I got the bright idea, it was like, ooh, what if I take these clothes to my job, give it to them to wear, get my other friend, who she's starting to shoot pictures, get her to shoot their pictures, take those pictures of them in the clothes, then send it to my rep, who I'm ordering the clothes from, like, oh, check out these artists from Atlanta that's rocking Joy Rich.
That's smart.
I remember they brand.
We want you to come skip class with us and share your story on our new segment called Skipping Class.
Look, we want to talk to all the artists, indie or mainstream, or if you're an entrepreneur, come build your brand with us and tell your story to the world.
You'll also get the shot in our locker, and you'll get promo clips for all your fans. So DM us today or visit our website, tprmusicgroup.com. Get locked in with us.
Right?
That's crazy, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and then they got their first like blog post on Joy Rich's website. Is this band this band out of Atlanta? They wouldn't even band. This band out of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? So like in my mind, I was like, oh, this is how I'm helping out my homies, keeping them fresh.
Yeah.
How whatever, boom, boom, boom. And then they were recording in the house. How whatever, I found them a studio, a real engineer. How whatever, because I didn't believe in them hustling backwards. These my boys, you know. Anyways, in the midst of helping them, one of those sessions that I got for them early, I beat them there. They're late to the session. So me and the engineer sitting there waiting, how whatever. So shit, I just started writing lyrics or whatever, just writing. I used to write back in the day when I was a teen, how whatever. So I'm just killing time. Anywho, I think I ended up recording that record. And then when I was done recording, they still hadn't got to the studio.
Damn.
Running late, right? Nigga shit. They get there. When they get there, obviously I'm just chilling, waiting. I don't say nothing. Or whatever, they get to doing what they do. I don't say nothing the whole session. After that session, the engineer brings up like, shit, y'all made him record. And it was like, oh shit, you recorded, so let's hear it. Played it for them, they liked it. Or whatever. So that felt good. Like, even though I didn't care, I wasn't doing it for anybody's approval.
Right.
I was doing it because y'all niggas is late and I don't got nothing to do and I'm bored. You know what I'm saying? They was like, I like it. I was like, all right, cool. I ain't really do nothing else. Anyways, to wrap this story up, through them, I started writing lyrics, and every time I would do something, they would really, really like it. One of my songs they liked so much, they took part of my verse and made that a hook for another song. So now we had three. Now I got 3 songs, and then the song that they took that part of my verse to make the hook, we ended up performing that song in a talent show off Buford Highway and winning the talent show with the song. How whatever. And right in that moment right there, the grand prize was $500, a chance to go to the radio station and maybe some studio time. And for me, it's 5 of us on the song. How whatever, mind you, I'm on my Wolverine shit. So I'm already hustling, already getting money.
Yeah.
I'm outside. How whatever, I'm like, man, it's a waste of time. We just did all this. I done put on all these fits. How whatever, it all been a win is that.
1,000 each.
No, $500 for 5 people.
Oh, 500. They said 5,000. Damn, y'all had to split up 500.
I was like, what?
Damn.
Like, what? Come on now. So it was, once again, it was like, oof, this music shit a waste of my time. Let's go on do it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying to myself.
Yeah.
Or whatever, because I have to make this money. I have to take care of my mama because, once again, like I said to you earlier, when you're coming from an immigrant standpoint, the older you get is the more of like, damn, I can't depend on my parents. I got to take care of mine. And my parents split or whatever, so it's different. So, boom, 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 that all happened. We do another performance. I get off work early, close the store down. I dress everybody, then dress myself. Go do the show. Get to do the show. They cancel it.
Damn.
Or whatever. I said, I'm done with y'all niggas. I'm done. Or whatever. Like, I'm done with my contribution to the musical part of this. This shit is stupid. Like, I don't do that. Like, I'm efficient. I'm on point, and I'm about getting my money. I don't do things that don't get me money unless the relationship is actually really worth it.
For sure.
Or whatever. And my discernment is pretty damn good. It's been that way because it's had to been that way because I'm not coming from a normal perspective. I'm coming from a survival immigration perspective. How whatever is like, damn. At any given time, anything can happen. How whatever, but we outside, fuck it. Anyways, leaving them, let them do their thing. I'm not doing that no more. That's 2011. Coming to 2012 now, right? 2012 is the same year, dog, where everything comes out. So we start the year. I don't know how to start the year, but I know somewhere through the year I get locked up with my ex. When I get locked up, that's when I realized, like, oh shit, getting locked up that's not me. Like, I'm a boss. Like, I'm not the person to get locked up. Like, y'all get locked up and I'll get y'all out. That's, you know what I'm saying? Not to say that, not to say that I want anybody to get locked up. But I'm not the person to be locked up because can't nobody get me out. I got me out. You see what I'm saying? So it's a waste of time for me. I'm the boss. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, and I don't like being in any place that don't have a clock. So there's no clocks inside of jail. So it's like, I don't like that. Like, it's just not, if it had clocks, it'd be different, but it's no clock or whatever. So I get out and I was like, damn, this is trash. And when what happens next? I think I take that as motivation to figure out, damn, what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And then in the midst of that, the dude who I was working for at the clothing boutique where I was a stylist and running that spot, he had said something that really hit me a certain type of way. Of like, basically, he wasn't saying it in like out of malice. He was just talking in general, like we would talk because we got really cool. And like, I was supposed to have my own store, like another store, and he would run that, and I would run the one I was in. And then he had a son, and it was like, I would be working for his son. And then I had that vision in my head, like, would I be working for it?
Right.
Oh no, I really, really got to do something else. And so that's when I was like, you know, I got a lot of things to say. There's a lot going on. I'm in a weird place with my guys because of me leaving. Or whatever, you know, so I'm only really, really cool with my best friend who is still in the group with people who are not my best friend, but we cool as hell. These were like the coolest people I'm cool with. And like now it's a weird divide because once again, once you're on Wolverine shit, that shit causes friction. Because it's like, nah, bro, we a team. And yeah, I'm a team, but I'm my own player. That's just how I came up. So it's like, it bothers people. And I get that or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's why I do a lot of things myself. Anywho's, to go back to what your initial question is, it's like, what is that 2012 coming into the album? So we swing around, I hit my best friend, I say, hey bro, I'm about to do my own project. Or whatever. He was like, shit, nigga, do that shit. You gonna do it anyway. He's like, just let me hear it when you done. I was like, bet. So shit, I started working on it. Or whatever, started at the top of the summer or like spring, 2012. I would start working on it. Or whatever. I ain't got no beats or nothing like that. So I'm getting like spare beats from my partners and this, that. Whoever I'm still really, really cool with, that's what I'm getting beats from, finding stuff online. Finally finish up the project per se, and I try and put out All Go Everything first, which is kind of interesting that I did, because I didn't know any better. It's not like I knew that, like, oh, that's the hit, so let me put it out first.
Right.
I just was like, it felt braggadocious, and I liked the artwork for it that I had. It was like my coolest shoes at the time. So I wanted a way to put out, like, I got better shoes than y'all niggas. Like, you don't have, I got like Yeezy 2s, Galaxy Foam Posits, and Jeremy
Before
Scott.
niggas was wearing that.
Like, before niggas even like,
for real.
you know what I'm saying? And I'm not like even like established rapper, and like I'm a street nigga with this stuff.
Right.
How whatever, I'm like, bro, I'm better than you. How whatever, like whatever you think. On this fashion side of things, I'm better than you.
I got this shit.
I got it, bro.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like me putting that card out there first. Well, that card didn't mean shit because nobody listened. Literally, 50 plays in a month on SoundCloud.
Damn.
Nobody gave a damn. Or whatever. So I got it off of there, erased it, or whatever.
Then
I was
you
like,
took it down.
Oh, yeah, I took it. I was like, yeah, I'm not about being embarrassed. I'm not about that.
Never knew that.
You know, I'm just not about it. Well, at that time. Once I'm giving you know what I'm saying? At that time, it was like, it wasn't until I got into this game where I was like, oh, you have to understand that you will take L's publicly and you got to fight through it. Or whatever, the way that life is set up for people that are not in this game, or whatever, is like, bro, nobody know nothing about you.
Right.
Nobody give a fuck. Or whatever. The only people that give a fuck about you is the people that you fucking and the people that's your family. That's it. You know, so anywho's, boom, roll around, take that song down, or whatever, like, chill right quick, figure this out, regroup. How whatever. I think I kind of regrouped, and I was like, instead of putting it, just having it up on SoundCloud and expecting people to just to gravitate to it, maybe I need to work and push it and send it to people, or whatever. So I was like, all right, let me put some more work in. So I put it back up on SoundCloud, and so now I'm reaching out to like different like local people I know, people who shop with me, people who I might have styled, or whatever, who know me from the shop, right? In the midst of that, I try to send it All Go Everything, or I send All Go Everything to this artist named Grip Pliers. He passed away, R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. Hell yeah.
Yep, he's from Atlanta.
Yep.
Legend. His son is in college now. Shout out to his son.
For sure.
He doesn't reply, but in the midst of it, it's a guy named DJ Dirty who knows Grip and follows Grip and was working with Grip and sees the link, clicks on it like, what the hell is this? Or whatever. And when he listens to the song, he DMs me the next day at work. I'm at work. He's in New York, and he's like, "Hey, blah 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 blah. I run a underground down south radio station in New York City. I heard your song that you sent to my boy Grip. You the next voice of Atlanta. I was like, get off my phone. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I don't know you, white boy. You know what I'm saying? Like, mind you, I'm in the South now, and I've been around y'all, so I'm like, white boy, what you talking about? Like, I'm on that type of time. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you trying to do to me, white boy? You know, that type of shit. And, you know, it ended up really being the truth that he really believed that. He put his money where his mouth is. And when I say put his money where his mouth is, he's put his relationship and his own neck on the line with different people that would come into his establishment working or whatever, because he worked at a pizza place in New York City that was right next to the radio station that was owned by the dude who owned the pizza place, his boy. Whatever, it's called Little Frankie's. If you're ever in New York, go to Little Frankie's and get you some pasta or pizza. It's incredible. He worked there, but New York is a really interesting place. You been in New York? Yeah. You've been in New York, right? So, you know, New York, you can go into like some hole in the wall and you might see Rihanna in that bitch. Right. So people used to come in there and eat with him because it's a known ass pasta place. Yeah. And people love pasta in New York. It's New York. Come on now. And so he started pushing my songs to like different people. The owner of the Fader. A&R who works at Sony. Big Republic. Relationships. Yeah. You know, these relationships he's had forever because his musical knowledge. He's a DJ. His musical knowledge, people will come. That's what I like about New York people. Yeah. They will pick the brain of the common person to understand what's really going on in the culture, because that's who knows the culture, not the people at the top. Sometimes that giraffe view I speak about, it throws you off because you don't know what's going on with the lions. So true. You know, it works both ways. And so, with that being said and understood, shit, people just was like, bro, it's no way. It's not a real person. Or whatever. It's like, the song is interesting. So I might have sent him like 3-4 songs. Obviously, I'm trusting him a little more, right? However, I sent him like 3-4 songs. He'll pitch it to these people. And then finally, I sent him the cover because I just got it done. My boy Corey Davis, who used to work right here, City of Ink. He has his own City of Ink.
City of Ink.
Right? Yeah, black owned. Shout out.
Oh, yeah.
Maya Bailey, all those good people. He did my cover. And when I sent that cover over, that cover changed everything, because I wouldn't know this to go back to 10 years ago, but it's things, and for any young person that's watching this, that's an aspiring artist, man, woman, whoever you are, in label world, in the industry world, and in this game, the real game, the things that make people want to say, who is that? Is first of all the talent coming through on the product. Whether your product is TV, jokes, music, whatever your medium is, the talent has to come through your product. Then it's like, what is the image behind this product? Branding. When those two things make somebody be like, ain't no way, then people want to come see you. And they literally did that. They flew out to my job right here against Sony. One of those Sony record labels, one of the guys, and came and listened to the project while I was still working. That's crazy. Folding shirts and dealing with customers at my job, like broad day, 1 p.m. And so they wanted me to sign. I don't even know what that meant at the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what? Like, I'm a street nigga who is like trying to figure it out, or whatever, and I'm using music as a medium to start building. Like, I was ready to put in that, like, all right, I'm in this goddamn local performance with y'all. All right, let's get it. It's my songs versus y'all songs. All right, you go. I'm rapping to the track. Let's do it. I just paid my $150. Come on. I was ready for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, shit, fuck it. You know? I know I could dress better, so I know I would excel. Yeah. And so, shit, when they came, I was like, okay, these people do a thing. They're from New York. They just spent their own money to come to my job to listen to this project that I just recorded in this whiteboard closet. Okay. So out of that came the plug to A3C. Shout out to A3C.
We were just talking
when
about
it was
A3C.
A3C.
Yeah, man.
Right? Shout out to A3C, man. I wouldn't be me without
Nah, that's facts.
all that. You know, without A3C, I wouldn't be me. So always respect and shout out to them. You know, when it comes to like starting the groundwork for me. You know, and that relationship through that person who put that together allowed me to shut that down over there by Wish at the Star Bar on the side, crush that show, How whatever. Then I had a buzz going around the city with the hipsters and the hood niggas because I'm cool with both.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm in the streets heavy, but I'm also cool with kids who weird as fuck. If you think they weird, you know what I'm saying? Like for the standard of America, like, oh, they don't fit into this like white tee Levi Air Force One.
Right.
I got the bomb in my pocket type. You know what I'm saying? They trade Yu-Gi-Oh cards and like Dragon Ball Z and listen to Gucci Man.
Right.
And Eminem. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's all right. I never judge people. You know what I'm saying? And I give you all that backstory because all this is happening and building the buzz. And like I'm still working this job, hustling on the side, how whatever, and just trying to figure out like, okay, what's next? And DJ Dirty started working the plays, and everybody really, that cover really changed everything because the Fader posted the project when we dropped it.
Crazy.
That's huge.
Which is like, what?
The Fader?
I got a homie. His name is Wara, W-A-R-A. Wara from the Block is his full artist name. He's incredible lyricist, incredible. He's been incredible way back then when I'm talking to you. He's incredible now. He's dropping an album tomorrow, actually. Check it out. I heard it already. It's tight as fuck. He came down to my job, and he was like, hey, bro, how you getting the Fader? He literally was like, because it was like,
That's
what?
crazy.
This
Fader?
is the,
Nah, that's like,
you know,
nigga,
like, this
Fader?
is the
No, that's major.
You
That's
see me on
huge.
top of, you see me in the underground almost every day.
Nigga.
I probably gave you some Molly or some weird. It's like, it's not adding up.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
How are you in the fucking
Like,
Fader?
how is this dude? What?
You can't
like,
pay to be on Fader.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You couldn't pay to be on it. Literally. Like, I had a
That's
job,
right.
and my manager at the time had a job. We had jobs.
Yeah.
You know
And
what
were
I'm
you
saying?
even talking about that you were in Fader, like to people, like, yo, go check me out? I'm
Fuck
in.
no.
Yeah, so it's
I
crazy.
don't
Like,
even,
yo, you
brag.
ain't
I
even
don't
say
ever tell
nothing.
people about the things I got going on.
You definitely
Yeah,
not
that's crazy.
braggadocious and you don't care about money. I know.
Like that ain't like, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
that's nothing. How whatever. Because for me, even in that moment there, I'm still in survival mode. So that music shit is not paying me. This is just clout stuff. Like the dudes at Live Mixtapes. This one dude was at Walters.
Shout
you know,
out to
Walters,
Pesh.
Pesh, my dog, right? So my boy Propane, he works with
Shout
Yo
out
Gotti and them.
Hell
Propane.
yeah.
Propane is at Walters. Shout out to my boys at Walters. When I got my first paycheck,
For sure.
I spent that all with them. I bought my first shoes with them. You know what I'm saying? They let me put my CDs
That's hard.
on top of the register, or whatever type shit. And everybody was just coming. You know, everybody shop with them. Jeezy, Ross, all them older type of
Everybody
niggas who
shop
like
at
white Air Force
Walters.
Ones and shit,
Hell
and like
yeah.
5XTs or whatever. They shop with them. At the
shade.
time, you know, and I'm just saying, I dress better than these niggas, so it's like, this is how I'm always looking at niggas. It's like, bro, if you don't dress better than me, we're equal. We're equal, because anything else that you got going on in life, this image of mine
got you.
balances it out, bro.
Respect.
So, Propane picks up the CD. He like, who the fuck is this? Ask him, the people inside of Walters. Like, oh, that's my boy. Oh, that boom boom. Shout out to my boy Kumite, Sean. One of them tell him, hey, give him my number, or he give no. This nigga called the store phone at Ginza, and was like, hey, I'm looking for Trinidad James. So I answered the phone as like, you know, like what's going on at Ginza. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I was like, who is this? How he's like, hey bro, I'm boom boom boom. Propane's like, hey bro, what's up with you? What you got going on? How whatever, where you at? How whatever. He's like, shit bro, I'll get you a deal right now. He ain't even heard the music. He just saw the cover.
Damn.
He just picked up the CD. I was like, once again, in my mind, like, get on my phone. Like, you know, all these people are talking at me. Mind you, I've always looked at myself like a boss. I've never looked at myself as like anybody's worker, because I never worked for nobody in the streets. I worked for somebody in legal world, but in non-legal world, niggas ain't told me what to do. I'm gonna go get what I get, and then I'm a boss. So it's like, I'm not used to people talking at me or whatever. Like, you gon' like, bro, calm down. It's a little weird. Or whatever, just based off my street mentality. Anywho's, he was like, look, you don't believe me? Because he could tell that I'm not fucking with him. He was like, shit, I'm going to put you on top of Live Mixtapes.
That was huge at the
I
time,
don't even
too.
know what Live Mixtapes is like.
That's
I know what it
crazy.
is, but I don't know,
At
like,
the time?
Yeah, what that means.
what it
Nigga.
go, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know what it is, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
playing everybody's mixtape on the shit in the
Right.
stove. How whatever. Shit. The next day, it really was at the top there. How whatever. And so all these things are happening, but I'm not making no money. So it's not that important to me. It's
not
like, this
hitting.
is cute. This is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got something there. I know it's something there. But my hustles, that's what I'm focused on. And then, I mean, long story short, mind you, the project is out now. We drop. Two things happen. We do a show at MJQ, like we're about to do here for the 10-year anniversary.
We're going to get into that too.
You know what I'm saying? We do the show at MJQ.
Yeah.
It go absolutely insane. I don't, it's that, a show at Santos in New York, and then dropping the actual video for All Go Everything, because that came out October 16th or 7th, so it just passed. So to me, I look at it, my real 10-year anniversary just happened. Because that, when I dropped that video, that's when everything really, really changed. And then I actually really was like, oh, I'm making a bag. Cool, okay.
Facts.
But it took me a long time, even in the midst of making these bags, doing music, to leave my job.
I get it.
I didn't leave my job until like 2013. So all through 2012, I go do all these shows, New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, or whatever, go make these bags and then come back to work.
That's crazy.
Or whatever, like ain't nothing happened.
You got to make that money.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm making money, but I was like, I'm going to make more money.
Make more money.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to get it all. Or whatever, like, oh, I can get this out of them and then get this out the street and then have this legal, stable 9-to-5 thing. Or whatever, like, oh yeah, I'm lit. Or whatever, like, well, I'm going to get something from my mama. Like, we up. And in reality, all these things were done so that I could own my own shoe store. That was the point. Not to be famous, not to have a number one, not to be anybody's fake friend, or whatever. Literally just so I could own my own store and take care of my family.
Bam. And so I got like 1,000 questions into one.
Okay.
All right. So real quick. So like we are celebrating the 10-year anniversary. First, I want to ask you,
Yes.
talk about your relationship with Rich Homie Quan, because he brought you out for his 10-year anniversary. And like I said, like during that time frame, like that was such a beautiful time for music. Like it was so fun at that time. Like I just really, really missed those days, right? So I want you to talk about coming out for his 10-year anniversary concert and talk about your mindset celebrating your 10-year anniversary concert, which is actually, by the time we release the interview, it's going to bend and happen. Right.
So, you know, it's different pieces to it, but the coolest thing is growth. What I love about, you know, Quan selling out, what venue that was, Jose, that he did?
What song?
Tabernacle.
Yeah, that was
Him
a vibe.
selling out Tabernacle
Was huge.
Was huge, first of all, in the city. Even if he didn't bring me out, just seeing it, you know, shout out to my boy Day Day, who helped me out in the beginning. His people, Tay and Almonte and all those guys, you know, just seeing their growth. But with the source, Quan, and even before we even get to Quan, Mr. Corey, his dad, you know, these 10 years, I would say honestly, 8 of them, consistently, every single day he sends me a scripture. For 8 years straight. For 8 whole years straight. He sends me a scripture out of the Bible every morning. And one of the most consistent people in my entire life. You know, so that's always, no matter if me and Quan ain't speaking years or whatever, we good.
For sure.
You know, so when 10-year anniversary time come around, you know, his dad was like, hey, well, of course you invited, or whatever, but I had already made a plan in my head, I'm coming to this. You know what I'm saying? Because I look at them like family. You know, we started together or whatever. I kind of jumped out there first or whatever, kind of like knocked down the walls, took the arrows in the back. Then Quan came and took that shit to another level. You know what I'm saying? Lucci came.
Man.
We know Forte.
TFG days.
You know what I'm saying?
was
Jacquees.
lit.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
you know, we did what we had to do. We learned a lot of hard lessons.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but just it's beautiful, man. Just seeing them walk out there. You know, I was a part of their family prayer before he walked on stage, and it just felt good, man. You know, just to know that it's like me and him had a really good conversation at One Fest, and I just wanted to let him know, it's like, bro, I definitely want to use my next 10 years to just be a better friend to you.
Hell yeah.
Compared to just being like busy, because I was figuring it out. Just like, bro, I want to be a better friend to you. You know what I'm saying? We're literally gonna hit the studio tonight. But I was happy for him. Super happy. And then taking it back to now Mines, you know, he has a show, so I'm not sure he would be able to make it to Mines, but he really wanted to.
Gotcha.
But I don't kind of live for this, like, oh, if I do something, you got to do something for me. I don't live for that.
Hell no.
But I think it's just for us to be, what matters the most is to make it to 10 years and feel like you can make 10 more.
Facts.
And so that's what I'm happiest about. And I feel that way about him too.
And so, okay, so going into that too, so I know you are a Thug fan, a young Thug fan, and which we are too. Like, we seen Thug come up. I work directly with Done Deal, so of course I seen Young Thug come up.
For sure.
So how did you feel, like, you know, during that time, everybody was coming up at that time, seeing them fall out publicly, because, like, it hurt my feelings. But how did it impact you?
I mean, it's sad. You got to think about it. You know, when you actually genuinely cool for the right reasons with people, and those people fall out for legitimate reasons, and what does it put you in a weird place? And so I just treated it accordingly. If I'm around Thug, I don't bring up Quan, and I treat Thug with the respect that he deserves. If I'm around Quan, I don't bring up Thug, and I treat him with the respect that he deserved. And that's how I moved for all those years, which was a lot of years now, that they've been not on the same page.
Just kind of stay out of it, let them handle it.
Because it's not my beef, and also I'm not into the position to put them back together either. So I didn't want to be the fake, man, I got this, boy, let me roll.
Type shit.
No,
Right.
hell no. Hell no.
That's a big load.
How you feel about Thug's issues right now with his legal issues, and then also with artists, their lyrics being used against them when it comes to cases?
I mean, you know, it's free slime till slime free, right? You know, when it comes to Thug, he is an enigma. And his family is awesome. Shout out to Dolly and Dora.
Hell yeah, we fuck with them.
You know, Mama Duck, everybody. Like, they just showed me hella love. I got a really good relationship with the family on a more of a family basis, not like really street shit or even music stuff. We only got one song together, 1 or 2 songs together. Just more of like the type of relationship we got, where it's like them my peoples. So I want him to be out to fight this case and be able to take care of his family and make music, because recording is his passion. Recording is why he is a gift from God to record and make the music that people want and love. And outside of the consumer who gonna eat it up, his peers, he makes all his peers better. He challenges J. Cole. He challenges Drake. He challenges Kanye West. He challenges all these people. You know what I'm saying? Because he is who he is. So him not being around, it hurts us, I think. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a challenge that we love. It's like, you can't do it like Slime. You can't. Or whatever. But you don't even want to. You just want the energy of, like, us as people should never stay in a box. And that's why I love it. I will always love him. Or whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's why I think we agree, is because we are not in anybody's box.
Facts. And so, okay. So going back to you and your music, and you know, that was an important part to bring up, just because, like, again, like, when I think about Atlanta, just remembering the things and how shit happened, you was a big part of just moving the culture forward, especially for that time frame.
Right.
So I want to go back to you signing to Def Jam, and I know you addressed this on a Drink Champs interview, but why was it a thing where people thought that you had got dropped? And I know you had tweeted that at the time too, but then you said, no, I didn't get dropped from Def Jam.
Well, what's it called? When I tweeted what I tweeted, it was for me to get the energy that was around me away from me. Had a lot of, to me, I felt like leeches and not snakes, but just leeches. And I was becoming not a dependency, but I felt like I was crippling the homies or whatever. But I didn't know how to tell the homies that or whatever, because it was so personal. So sometimes the best things and the easiest things to say are the hardest to say to the people closest to us, because of the consequences that you're thinking. I was overthinking the situation. So I was like, you know what? I'm the type of person where I was like, when I feel like it's just too much, I'm going to blow the whole bitch up. I would have, like, fuck it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it is just what it is. Anyway, ain't nobody.
All or nothing type shit.
Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, you know what? Burn this shit down. All this shit is stupid. I don't like none of it. I'm depressed. And you know what I'm saying? And I'm the one richer than everybody, and I'm depressed. Or whatever. I was like, this is stupid. Or whatever. I don't like the business that's going on here with me and the label. And so that was I wasn't dropped by them. I asked, I requested to be dropped, and they approved the request because everybody who signed me in the beginning quit or didn't work there anymore. So the people that were there, they weren't fans of me.
Yeah.
That's something that I want kids to keep in mind is like, you can get signed today, and in 3 months that person can go get a higher position, had another label, and they're gonna take it. Fuck what you got
That's
going
so
on.
scary.
You know what I'm saying? That's crazy as hell because once again, us as young men and women coming out of the streets, how whatever, once again, I told you my parents split, how whatever. So we do look at these older people trying to do business with us as a father figure or as a person that I should be able to trust because it's like, oh, you are trying to help my family. You make yourself family when you try to do something that's helping out my family. So when you do something that's hurting my family, you hurt me, I'm gonna take you personal as fuck. You know, but that's just the game. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that the hard way. And when it was going around that they dropped me, I just didn't fight it. And the reason why I didn't fight it, because I know that I was going to request to get off, and I didn't want to come across as one of those people where it's like, I didn't want to give them any reason to want to keep me or to do spite by me. And like, hell no, I'm going to keep you shelved, bitch. You ain't finna do nothing. However, I just kind of like play like, yeah, I'm losing. But in reality, I was freeing myself of all the negative
Couldn't
around.
wait.
On some Kanye shit.
Yeah, it's great.
What they trying to
Yeah,
say?
it's
He
great.
did it
It's
on
like,
purpose.
oh yes,
and
I'm
shit.
losing everything. Yes, I am. Everything that I want
Get away
to
from
lose.
me. I don't got
Got you.
shit.
Please, I'm broke, baby.
Yeah.
I'm broke, baby. I ain't got it.
And I respect that, and I think that's dope. And it's like what to the public ad and from a fan perspective, what made me happy, and we reported this too on the progress report, was seeing that you get money from every time that Bruno Mars songs, the Uptown Funk, is played. And I was just like, yo, this is beautiful, because before that misconception was cleared up, we didn't know what was what. So, you know, talk about just, you know, being a part of Bruno Mars' Uptown Funk and just finding out about that.
Well, you know, the Bruno Mars thing was just a huge play. Like, those are the legacy
That's a
plays.
chess place.
That's
No,
a
for
that's
real.
a chess
That's
play.
like, I'm good.
It's a
You gotta
legacy
ring the bell on
play.
that
Yeah, you know
bitch.
what I'm saying?
Right? So that's a chess play. It's a legacy play. Those are the plays that I always suggest to any writer, artist, you know, that's looking at this. Those are plays that you want to make. If you have 5 or more of those plays, you never have to work again in life. I'm just letting you know. How whatever. So I got 1 already. I'm working on 4 more. And it comes. It's beautiful. The beauty of it in reality, because I said this recently and I'm gonna say it again. Money is about how far you can throw it, not how much you have at once.
Got you.
How whatever is like just throw it and keep moving. How whatever, and when you catch it, throw it again. How whatever, because having all the money at once and not knowing what to do with it, how whatever, you're just gonna
That's real
blow
shit.
it. How whatever, but if you make it work for you and you keep pushing it forward, you'll always have money. And so with the Bruno Mars thing, the money was one thing and it was cool, but I took even a pay cut in what I could have made, how whatever, so that I could actually, I put in my deal where it's like, I'm gonna take less money, less percentage on the ownership of this so that I could work with Bruno Mars and Mark Ronson. How whatever, because it's more important for me to work with people who are this good.
Facts.
If my song could be #1 in the urban market and go gold, and then you could take my song and be #1 on Billboard and go diamond with my song,
Yeah.
then I need to learn.
Right.
So I'd rather learn it from the horse's mouth than any nigga that's trying to be you.
Nice.
How whatever. I'm not trying to talk to no fucking A&R. Nigga, you're not an artist. Stop talking to me. So I went and worked with Bruno first, and it was incredible because he taught me to do homework on yourself. How whatever. A lot of times as artists and creatives, or you know, even interviewers like yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's good to look at the game footage. How whatever. That's how you get better interviewing. How whatever. Like,
Absolutely.
there's nothing wrong with that. How whatever. It's not that you conceited. No, is it, do you want to be the best or you want to be an okay interviewer? No, you want to be the best. I think that you should do things to want to be damn good at it.
Damn right.
So in order to do damn good, what does Kobe Bryant do, RP? How do you look at game footage? What does LeBron do? You look at game footage. That's what teams do to win, to be the best. So that's what you need to do in yourself. And, you know, one of the things that Bruno kind of iterated to me, it was like, he had been looking what I've been doing since I came out. But all he really knew was the thing that came up to his giraffe, which is all go everything. How whatever, he didn't really pay attention to the other stuff because it wasn't giraffe level for him. How whatever, but when I'm working with him and we're doing the Uptown Funk remix, and I'm like, do like 60 something takes, like 63 takes, literally. Oh, he's like, do it again, do it again, do it again. And I'm looking over there in the booth, and he's doing me better than I'm doing me at the moment.
So, hell no.
Oh, whatever. I was like, oh shit. I'm always been on my Andre 3000 shit, where it's like, shit, I'm in the future, or whatever. But in reality, I left out a curriculum that still got millions left on it. That people have been tapping into my curriculum and made millions of dollars off of my curriculum. Everything is the curriculum. If you study it well enough, look at how much has came from it. Look how many people got rich.
A lot of shit.
Look how many, because money has two sides of it. It's meta money and it's real money. And before there was the metaverse, you had numbers on YouTube, clout. How would it have been the Instagram followers and stuff like that? So like, if you go look at how many parody videos were done 10 years ago, and look at the numbers that these people got, how whatever, if they were smart, they made money off of that. So that's all the parody people. And then obviously the labels. Then obviously World Star. Then so many, like, then you take the artists who like changed their style or was more free, and the artists that like now labels is like, oh, we can mess with like these weird hipster hood type of people. And then you had a whole slew of new kids who wouldn't have got a chance to be mainstream because now the labels understood that, oh, here is some diamonds in the rough with these weird ass kids in these different pockets of different parts of America. You know?
Facts.
So, you know, like for me, it's now talking to you, it's a blessing. You know, looking back at it, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big blessings.
You know, but at the time it was just like,
Of course.
hey man, I just got my head down, I'm working.
And so we were privileged enough to come to the unofficial listening session for the DBS2.
Yeah, both were there or just you?
Well, I was there, and then some of the other team members was there.
Okay, cool,
but
nice.
it was big vibe. So can we get into what can we expect? What release date are we gonna get? I mean, it was a few records in there. It was just like, what the fuck? Put this out now.
Right.
And also, what are your expectations for it as well?
Okay, good question. So I can't give you a date because I don't have the date, right?
Okay.
And I'm still working on it. I'm honestly enjoying being back in my bag.
Period.
You know, the pandemic threw me off of my personal bag, but it allowed me to focus on. I got my own clothing brand. I got my own sneakers. We sold out of my sneaker collab. My sock brand is doing well. Thank you.
That's hard.
You know, we got a collab coming up with the PGA tour for Complex Con soon.
That's crazy.
So all those, it's crazy. The PGA tour don't work for black people like that.
Nah, for sure.
hard.
You don't even ever hear no shit like
Yeah,
that.
never.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Nah,
that's
for
why I was
sure.
like, I'm very proud of
yeah.
my team, myself, my business partner, my boy Kyle, who we make our socks here in America. We have one of the only 5 black-owned factories in America. No, it's a big deal. I'm not downplaying it.
Hell yeah.
Niggas don't get a chance to have these type of things. So
Niggas ain't got socks, but I know what you mean.
that they make themselves. So to go back to your question, you know, of DBS2, Don't Be Safe 2, that's the name of the project.
Yes, sir.
Date I don't have for you. Expectation. For my day one fans and the real fans, right? The people who actually like know the lyrics to the
For
deep
sure.
cuts. It's great, incredible, amazing closure to our 10-year chapter together.
Hard.
We started together and we just did 10 years. We just did a 10-year bid together. We was in this bitch.
That's
Or
crazy.
whatever. You was fucking with me every time I dropped. Or whatever. This
But you
project-
dropped a lot of shit
I
now.
dropped a lot of
You got like
shit.
10 joints
Yeah, I
out.
dropped a lot of
facts.
shit. You know what I'm saying? You
Hell
just gotta
yeah.
do your homework to know what I dropped.
Facts.
How whatever. So for the person and the people, and they are people. Trust me, I meet them in the weirdest of
Absolutely.
places. How
Absolutely.
whatever
We
they come
already
up to
know,
me and
man.
they'll bring up a song that I don't even know the lyrics to
Right.
anymore. How whatever, but it helped them not kill themselves. Yeah, that'd be crazy when I hear stuff like that. You know, I got a song called "The Feels" off of a project called Father Figure, and I've had people come up to me and tell me, white, black, how whatever, like, bro, this song stopped me from committing suicide.
Wow.
How whatever,
some real
like,
shit.
Powerful.
That song don't even got 1 million streams.
Crazy.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm only doing the Lord's work. All Go Everything is a spiritual hymn for our culture. How whatever, that's why so many people identify with it. That's why you always will. How whatever, the thing about it here in Atlanta, you get a lot of spiritual hymns every 2 weeks because somebody's coming with some shit.
Yeah.
Or whatever, because we're in a great city for music.
Not as fast.
You know what I'm saying? But I was able to make one of those
One
things,
of the ones.
like a different type of bro, that's you know what I'm saying, way by the water right there. You know what I'm saying? That's like the Holy Cross type thing.
It's facts.
So once again, to go back to expectations for the day one fans, it's just a beautiful closure to our 10-year chapter together. I bid.
Respect.
Or whatever. Like, I know they're gonna appreciate the growth. I know they're gonna hear the bars. I know they're gonna hear damn, you always doing stuff I didn't expect. Like, you know what I'm saying, the singing, the reggae, the this, the that. Like, it's a musical buffet of everything I like because I like everything.
For
Everywhere,
sure.
everyone, all at once.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how I roll. For the person who is Trinidad James, that's the all gold nigga, right? Or whatever. For that person, I don't have an expectation with that person. I don't have for me, I think for that person, I know that my intention was because it's 10 songs. One of these 10 songs is for you. Whether you want to receive it, I'm never going to put a gun to your head to do it, because with All Go Everything, I never force anybody to like it. I wasn't y'all got to listen to my song.
Yeah.
Please listen to my song.
That ain't the type of artist you are, though.
No, I'm just making art. Art
Right.
is it puts on the wall. And if a million people walk by, but then one person goes by and oh shit, that's my cousin. Boom, boom. That's a crazy ass picture.
Hell yeah.
I know what this picture is for. That's who it's for.
Facts.
That's how art works. I'm not walking around here waiting for you to tell me, oh nigga, you the truth.
Right.
Facts.
Nigga, you see my outfit?
Right.
I'm good. I'm good. Real good. I've been this way for a long way.
That's hard.
Kizzy.
For a long time. So, for that person, I really did try to put something on here for you. But if this still does not work for you, I'll catch you next time.
Respectfully.
Period. And and that's the thing. I think, for me personally, that's why I've always been a fan of yours, just because it's once you get to know you and learn you, it's you don't care what people think, but it's also you about the arts. And I respect that, because that's what we on too. It's shit, we want people to fuck with the progress support, but if you don't, shit, it ain't for you. You know what I'm saying? Period.
Because you didn't wake up to offend them. You don't have
Right,
anything
yeah, it's
against
all
these
good.
people.
Right.
And they don't have anything against me. That's the main lesson I had to learn. Anybody who doesn't
nothing
like
personal.
Trinidad James music, they don't not like me.
Right.
They don't know me.
Right.
They don't like the product, or they don't like the media behind the product.
Right.
Or what other people have told them. If you met me, it'd be a different situation.
Right.
However, but you're not gonna get that chance for certain people. So it is what
It is what it is. That's fine.
Facts.
Yeah. I like how you put that.
So we definitely got to do a part 2 of sometimes. I feel like we can go on and on and on and on and on and on, right? So we got this question that we ask all our guests to hit the platform know, to define the word progress, because that's our key word at the Progress Support, and, you're a progressive person. So what does the word progress mean to you?
Don't use yesterday's excuses for today.
Damn, I like that.
I like that. That's hard as fuck.
That's hard.
That's hard as fuck.
I mean, progress is personal. Everything that you're going through, we're not gonna know it.
Right.
Even that.
Only you
Nobody
know what the
else.
fuck. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
want my gauges to be bigger. I don't know that.
Right,
you know what I'm
right.
saying? That's on you.
Right.
So it's just don't make excuses for the things you're not making changes on. You know what I'm saying? And
For
when
sure.
you stop doing that, you are making progress.
For sure. Hell yeah, man. This was dope. We definitely gonna have to do a part 2. But just, again, salute to you, salute to your team, because I'm just happy to
My
see.
nigga Bentley.
Nah,
Yes,
salute
sir.
to Bentley.
I fuck with Bentley,
Check
man.
out
That's
y'all
my
label
guy.
going on. Y'all organized. I just fuck with y'all, and I like what you're doing. So we got some gifts for you and shit. But first, we got a progress support for you. So
Yes,
you gotta hang
sir.
that up on your Frigidaire.
Oh, thanks, man.
Know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Probably the
Hell
best
yeah.
progress support you ever had.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Straight A's.
Nah,
Thank
for
you.
sure. But nah, this is the Progress Support Podcast, man. We appreciate you fucking with us, though.
Yes, sir.
Thank y'all. Y'all keep doing it, man.
Gotta
what
keep
y'all are
doing this shit.
Consistency is what makes you a GOAT.
Facts.
We use that word a lot. I think you said it at the beginning of this
Yeah.
interview.
Because you definitely are the fucking GOAT.
I
Nah,
appreciate
and
it.
people
need to give you your
and
flowers
the
more.
consistency, now that I put in 10 years, I'll
That
take
sound
it a little bit
crazy.
better, whereas I really do appreciate it. Before these 10 years,
Yeah.
I just kind of let it go in one ear and go out the other.
Yeah.
Because I'm just focused on bro, you don't understand. I've got a chance to, and I hate to be a name dropper person, but I've seen how hard Will Smith worked. Bro, you ain't did nothing, bro.
We didn't even
You-
get to touch on acting and shit.
You ain't
but-
did, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, I've seen a nigga do
We was just
so
talking
many
about
We
big
just talking
things
about
at
Will.
one time.
We were
that
just
I was
talking
like,
about
bro,
Will
it's
earlier.
no
No
way. I thought I was
excuse.
doing like
Nah,
I'm doing
that
a lot.
nigga is a
I know
machine.
I'm doing a lot. Like I know I'm doing a lot. Like
Yeah.
I walked into a nigga spot
For
and
sure.
he is handling family, doing a movie,
Yeah.
a multi-million-dollar movie,
Shit.
working on an album with us, built a studio in the garage, and doing the first face chat ever with a person in space.
Damn.
All at the same time.
Damn, that's hard
Ooh.
as fuck, yo.
Man, what? I'm like, oh, nah, bro. Nah.
Big Will.
Yeah,
Big
nah,
Willie.
Not the little.
For sure.
Whenever you think that you're
Willard.
busy,
Big Willie.
you got progress to make.
Facts.
Nah, Trinidad. Nah, this
Thank
is
you,
legendary.
man.
What's crazy, like I said, I can't believe I've been here for 9 years. I can't believe this is our first fucking interview. So that's
be like that.
crazy to me. So
But it's the one that mattered, though.
no, it does, but it's just crazy. It's long overdue. That's why we got to get this shit in. It's time
Yeah.
for that shit.
I'm happy we did.
Hell yeah. Well, this is a progress report, y'all. We out.
The Progress Report.